Dennis Livingston, I'm the director for the MBR Systems Technologies group at Ovivo, and I manage both the operations side and the sales side of the group. We have a couple of different technologies that make up the MBR group at Ovivo. We have the smaller MBR systems that are called microblocks. Those range in size from say 5,000 gallons per day up to 100,000 gallons per day. And we also offer basically customized integrated systems for larger MBR plants, generally go into concrete tanks that are in ground. Well, MBR technology was new to the United States, especially to the US or to the municipal market back in 2001 when Ovivo, then Enviroquip, brought over the flat plate technology from Japan. Actually, there were no flat plate installations in the US. Our first plant was in Bandon Dunes, Oregon, actually. It's a 125,000 gallon per day system, but initially it was only treating 5,000 gallons per day. For that first plant that we worked with the engineer to design and supply the system, it was installed actually in 2002. It was initially treating 5,000 gallons per day. If you fast forward to the present time, we're actually commissioning a 42 million gallon per day system in Canton, Ohio right now. So back in 2001, we provided the first MBR system in the US with flat sheet technology, flat plate technology. Now we have over 300 plants or systems out there that are currently operating, and we're in the process of finishing startup for this 42 MGD MBR, one of the largest in the world, in Canton, Ohio. So MBR technology has come a long way since 2001. We've actually used 6 different types of membrane modules since integrating that very first system in Bandon Dunes. And with each innovation or generation of the technology, not only do they become more efficient, but usually there's a problem that's solved. Now we're using, for example, flat sheets versus flat plates. And flat plates are very good technology in and of itself. It's robust, easy to maintain. But one of the issues that we have with it is that it is susceptible to what's called clogging or ragging. So that was actually a significant risk factor that we wanted to minimize or mitigate. It's really tough to do with the plate technology. But we were able to address it with the sheets because they're pliable and they're flexible, so that if clogging happens, the operators can actually rinse out that material from the top without taking the modules, without removing the modules from the tank. It's fairly safe, fairly quick process if it's done proactively. So that was a big step forward in terms of maintenance as far as the evolution of the technology itself. Really, it's about uptime for plants. That's one issue that hadn't been addressed until now, and it really translates into the potential for having to do maintenance on the modules and reducing or impairing the capacity of a plant for a certain amount of time. So if you can address that and come up with ways to remediate it quickly, that leads to higher uptime. And our goal was 99 to 100% uptime for our system. So what we did, working with our membrane manufacturer, equipment maker, Microdyne, is we came up with a module design where the sides are taken off. So we have 120 flat sheets that make up a module. The sides were taken off, and really it didn't impact the capacity or the performance, but what it did is it allowed for cleaning from the top a little more quickly than before with the steel sides on the module or the box. So it basically increased the reliability of the system, and that's what we're going for. So a couple of innovations that we've actually rolled out already. They're fairly new or fairly recent. Taking the sides off the module, and then also adding some additional supports to the top. The other technology that we offer is a pre-designed MBR in a steel tank called microblocks. These systems actually range in size from about 5,000 gallons per day to 100,000 gallons per day, depending on the wastewater strength or loading. At Ovivo, we actually look at the best technology for the application. That actually applies to the membranes as well. So for microblocks, we've actually moved to what's called silicon carbide membrane technology, different than polymeric. It's better suited for high solids applications. The packing density is a little bit higher than for polymeric. The fluxes, or the amount of water that a membrane can treat per area of membrane, is actually quite a bit higher for the silicon carbide, and it's easier to maintain or service in the event of sort of worst case conditions. They are standardized to a degree. They're also customizable to match site conditions, so you can actually go to microblocks.build and build your own microblocks pretty easily. Come up with the dimensions, the specifications for a microblock system that would meet the needs of your project. And from there you can get in touch with your local representative. There are really 4 key ways in which I think we have some advantage over other technologies and really over other companies delivering systems. First is our people. We have the most proven experience in the industry. Our team of some 50 technicians, engineers, designers, and other really are the heart and soul of the Ovivo MBR team. And all that is really important when you're trying to not only design a system, but start up and commission and support a system. So it's not just about our people, that's the most important aspect, I think, of Ovivo MBR. It's also, in terms of the technology, just getting back to the module, it's customizable, so the unit design itself can be customized to meet the needs of each individual project. The technology really is the only one to have a solution for that dewatering or clogging that we talked about out there. So in that way, it's the most reliable, and in terms of uptime, it offers the highest uptime at 99% or so as compared to some others. And finally, what I didn't mention earlier is that in May, Ovivo opened up the MBR Knowledge Center in Austin, Texas. And that's really where it's a combined design center and training facility where we bring in both engineers, owners, and operators to talk about the design of their facility up front, but we also bring in operators to train them during commissioning and after, and that's unique in the industry. No one has that. We can do hands-on training, provide presentations, and really get into the details of how to run an MBR system. And then right adjacent to that facility is the microdyne membrane manufacturing plant, where they make the equipment for the US market. In fact, in that 20,000 square foot facility, they can produce about 90 million gallons per day of treatment capacity in a year in terms of membrane modules and equipment. So that no one else has that in the US market. No one else has that capability or capacity. So for the microblocks systems, we actually build those in Austin, Texas. Our factory there can not only build the tanks, but assemble the systems so that they arrive on site really plug and play or ready to operate. There is some assembly required, but I think we can deliver systems faster than other companies out there. Really quick delivery is one of the main advantages of the microblock system. That's only possible through standardization. We use the same components on whether it's the small unit or the large unit, and those components are readily available and in stock, and that's really important for the small package type system. So in terms of what differentiates microblocks, I would say there are some proprietary technologies that make up the microblocks that enable it to treat more wastewater than other systems in the same footprint, so it's more space efficient. We can also deliver it very quickly in about 12 to 14 weeks, and that's generally much faster than other options out there in the marketplace. And I mentioned our team earlier. That's also very important, not just for delivering MBR systems, but also for supporting and delivering microblocks. Our experience, our ability to support projects, I think is really second to none in the industry. I would definitely start by going to mbrcentral.com. It's a good website with a lot of content or material there where you can see case studies, get information about the innovations that we just talked about, some advancements, and get an idea of where we're going with the technology. So definitely go to mbrcentral.com, and then beyond that, get a hold of your local sales representative or contact Ovivo directly.